Hi, welcome to the Trimester Journey with KC Women's Ministry, where we talk about pregnancy week by week. We are actually going to be following me, one of the directors of KC Women's Ministry, through my pregnancy. So thank you for joining me today. I really hope you get a lot out of this, and it's like you're having someone go through pregnancy with you. Or if you are just learning about pregnancy and you would like to learn more about what to expect week by week for when you do get pregnant, this is a great series for you to watch. So today we're going to be talking about the 6th week of pregnancy. So I'm approximately 6 weeks. I just found out that I am pregnant, and it's a great place to start. So I am Brittany. I am a birth and bereavement doula certified by Stillbirthday. I'm a certified birth photographer, and I have my bachelor's of science in health education. So education is where my heart is. I am the education director and a volunteer for KC Women's Ministry. So why did I decide to take a pregnancy test? All right, so there are several things that I was noticing that was a little different than my normal state. I was really hungry, like all the time, more so than usual. It felt like I just couldn't get enough to eat of what I needed. I was getting nauseous pretty regularly, and I'm generally not nauseous. And I was really tired all the time. So I thought, well, okay, something's going on here. I wasn't really having a whole ton of cramping, not too much more than usual. Which I don't usually get a whole lot of cramping. But some other symptoms that you might see is with the nausea, some vomiting. Thankfully, I don't generally vomit. Would you stop it, please? But you might feel bloated or full in the pelvic area, which I was feeling a little strange in the pelvic area, a little full and bloated. Mood swings, those are a big one. So I was definitely having a few mood swings where a song that I would like, I previously really liked, it would just make me tear up, or a video, or one of the books I was reading. So you might also find that your breasts are changing. Maybe they're getting more full feeling or just tender in general. My nipples tend to get really sensitive during both pregnancy or during ovulation. I do happen to be breastfeeding still, so I don't have a lot of that more fuller or tender feeling in the breast tissue itself, just in the nipples. Headaches are a big one. I was getting more frequent headaches, not too many more, that I was chalking up to weather changes. You might find that you have some implantation bleeding. And then most people totally skip their period. So it was about 3 to 4 days into what my missed period, which I'm pretty regular. So I have a fairly regular cycle. And I was about 3 days into missing the start of my period, which I was chalking up to my cycle just being a little off from the month before. But those are all reasons why I chose to take a quick pregnancy test and see if there was something else going on. I continue to have those symptoms throughout this week of pregnancy. So it's still pretty early. Showing nausea, showing all of those things. So something that if you're looking for a midwife, or, start looking, something that a lot of people ask when you are pregnant is, when are you due? And it's hard to tell that, especially if you haven't seen your doctor yet, and it's recommended to see your doctor around 8 to 10 weeks. So when you just find out you're pregnant, they're not going to give you an appointment right away. And you're still going to get that question. You can download some apps. The Ovia app gives you a great, it uses, I believe, McGill's rule to identify your expected due date. You don't necessarily have to use an app. So McGill's rule is basically you add a year to your date of your last menstrual cycle. So the first day of your last menstrual cycle. So say it was 10/5, and then you subtract 3 months from that year out date. So if it was 10/5, 10 minus 3 would be 7. So then that next date would be 7/5. And then it's adding 7 days, which gives you 7/12. So my potential expected due date is July 12th. The last menstrual period, LMP, is it's like I said, it's the first day of that menstrual cycle. So that's when your luteal phase starts up again. There are a few other methods that you can use. I also like the Woods method, which is, again, you're adding a year to your first day of your last menstrual cycle. And then for first-time mothers, you subtract 2 months and 2 weeks. And for multipara mothers, so mothers with more than one child, someone who's had one baby, or in my case, 3 previous babies, you'd subtract 2 months and 2.5 weeks for 18 days. So using that method, my expected due date would actually be 7/18 instead of 7/12. Yeah, so right now, when I make phone calls to midwives to see if I can get on the schedule for a consultation, or if you were to call an OB office, they're going to ask you, well, when do you think you're due? You can use these numbers, you can use these dates to identify that. So I've been telling them between July 12th and July 18th, but my babies tend to be a week to 2 weeks late. So I'll say mid-July to early August. And that really can affect the availability of the midwife that you are wanting to see. All right, so something else that's fun, especially if you are doing one of those apps, you get the approximate size of your baby. So how big is your baby? During week 6, your baby is approximately the size of a little blueberry. It's kind of tiny. It measures about 1/4 to 1/2 inch long. So you're talking about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. It's really tiny between my fingers there. And as they grow, there's a lot happening with this baby. The gender was actually determined at fertilization. So if you know anything, if you remember anything from your high school gen ed class or whatever, I remember taking that class in high school and learning about, especially in science, it was science class, that's where I learned it. You learn about some genetics. And one of those things you learn is the egg is always an X chromosome. It's the sperm that is either an X or a Y. And depending on if the sperm that fertilizes your egg is an X or a Y, that determines if it's a boy or a girl. So it is automatically determined at fertilization if you have a boy or a girl. At this point in time, the neural tube of your baby is developing, and it starts to develop actually right away as soon as implantation begins. And this is what grows into the brain, the spinal cord, the hair, the skin, all of that stuff that the baby needs in order to continue growing. This is the foundation that is being laid for thought and senses. And those things are already beginning a very rapid development at this stage. So as the pregnancy moves on, during week 6, the heart and a big part of the lungs are formed, as well as little fingers and toes and various parts of the face, such as your lips and the baby's ears and the jaw. Right now, the baby is more top heavy, so it looks kind of like a weird mermaid or a sea monkey, So it's got a very top heavy body, and then the bottom it's just kind of like a tail, kind of. It's starting to separate, but it's not fully separated. The body develops a little slower than that upper body. So during this week, mostly during pregnancy in general, but we'll talk some nutrition during this week specifically. Start taking a prenatal vitamin if you haven't already. If you're feeling a lot of nausea, a prenatal vitamin can actually help a lot with that. I know it helps me a lot when I take it. I can definitely tell when I haven't taken my prenatal vitamin. Nausea and food aversions can sometimes come due to a lack of certain nutrients, especially nutrients such as folic acid or folate. So part of why your prenatal vitamin might help reduce your nausea is because it is giving you those nutrients that you are currently lacking in your diet and in your natural food supply, this food source that you're taking. So if you can take it before you get pregnant, that's even better. So you can have some stores built up, and that helps reduce that nausea that might come. But otherwise, just start taking it now. It's not going to, excuse you, bless you. It's not necessarily harmful if you don't take it ahead of time, just a little more helpful. If you drink or if you eat cereals, try eating something that's a fortified breakfast cereal, something that contains folic acid. You can get folic acid through various beans and meat, and you want to try and make sure you have a good dose of vitamin B6 in your multivitamin. Watch Jamie Mackey's video here on our channel. She also does a pregnancy series, as she is currently pregnant as well. She is due, I believe, in February. So she's been doing a week by week series as well. Oh, honey, that was your head. And she talks about some nutrition during her videos as well. And she's definitely more up on nutrition than I am. Meats like chicken and turkey are a great source of iron. And to get a better list of good foods that you can eat, talk to your provider. I am not a medical provider. What I'm giving is just information. I'm not trying to give you advice or anything. So talk to your medical provider if you are concerned about your food habits. You know, if you're a vegan, make sure that you're eating those foods that are high in the nutrients that you need, and talk to your provider about what those nutrients are. Do some research and find what those nutrients are. So the pregnancy was a surprise. Like I said, my cycle has been a little off due to something, and I know exactly what it was. I'm not really ready to talk about it yet, but my cycle has been a little off, and we had actually decided to we were originally attempting to get pregnant early on this year, and then we had decided, you know what, we're pretty happy with where we're at. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, we're totally fine with that. And then here we are. So there was another hand involved, and I mean, we were having what we call ghost child syndrome anyway, where there would be days where, you know, we'd be at the grocery store and we'd have all 3 kids in the car, and we're like, we're missing one. Wait, no, we're not. There are 3 in here. So there were many instances when both my husband and I were like, we're missing a child. Oh, here's 1, 2, 3. We have 3. We're not missing one, but we would still feel like we were missing one. So hopefully after this baby comes, we won't have that feeling anymore of missing a child. But we're doing really good right now. So we're really happy with the pregnancy. I'm still kind of in denial about it, you know, especially since I'm not really showing I have nausea and tiredness, but yeah, so yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm so sorry about the interruptions with my kids. They're sweet, adorable little things who are little turkeys, but thank you for joining me. I am enjoying this so far, and hopefully you are too, and hopefully you're getting some information out of this video. All right, well, join us. I will put a new video on this particular topic out on a weekly basis so that we get a week by week update as to pregnancy, and you can learn about how your baby is growing with me. And then, you know, I don't have anything to show you right now. You know, I'm not really showing at all yet, other than my own previous chubs. So I'm not going to show you a stomach shot at the moment, but as we progress, I'll start doing a stomach shot every week, and you guys can see how baby grows, and we can have fun with that together. I would love to see your photos of your pregnancy bellies, whether it's early or not. I'd love to see those. If you have questions of upcoming weeks, please send them in the comments. I'd love to answer those questions and touch base on those. If you are looking for maybe a group or a mom group that we can talk about, a support group or something, reach out. We'd be happy to put one together. So, all right. Well, I'm going to leave you with today. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that ring the bell so that you're notified anytime as we post new videos, which new videos absolutely come out every Thursday at 1:30. Sometimes I don't get them out till Friday. I'm so sorry. That was this week. But they do generally come out on Thursdays at 1:30. And then there's going to be this one that comes out. Jamie posts hers, and Kristen does a live on Facebook on Mondays. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. I love having you here.